Hello and welcome to the Happy to Help commentary track. I'm finally making this. It's been so long, but let's just get into this. I'm playing the DVD game version because this has been the most... It was the original version that I made, and then at some point I was like, this is such a huge project, I might as well do a YouTube version as well. And turns out I was right about that, because basically no one knows about the PowerPoint and DVD versions. So I'm gonna play this. Also, the YouTube one, it's kind of buggy. Like, there's some parts that have to be repeated, because to have video pop-ups pop up at the end of videos, it has to be, I think, 30 seconds, and some videos don't reach that, so you have to replay old parts. So playing the experience of the YouTube version is a bit janky, and the DVD version is just absolutely how it's meant to be played. And also, I've always loved DVD games, and I still want to explore what DVD games like. I feel like there's so much more I could do with that. It is kind of a lost art. Just making a game with just your 4 arrow buttons and the select button and all of the different possibilities you can have, and turning your normal DVD player into sort of a weird console, and that was oddly comforting to me when I was a lot younger. Like, there's like a bunch of Harry Potter DVD games that I loved, and there was one in particular with a snake, and you had to remember a code, and it was fucking terrifying. I'm sorry for swearing, but it was terrifying, and I have this distinct memory of like staying up in my room while my family were downstairs, and I was just left on with this, like, because I kept getting it wrong because I was stupid, because I was like 6 years old and I couldn't remember the code, and every time you don't remember the code, the snake pops up and kills you, and I just remember just thinking like, this is horrible. This is so scary, and I didn't move downstairs, but oh well. It was kind of then that I had the original idea for thinking, like, DVD games, there is a certain horror you can find where you're, like, alone in your room, and and it's just you and whatever's on the screen, and you're just in the dark. So I recommend the best experience of playing Happy to Help. You can download the it's called ISO, or ICO or something. It's like a file you can download, and you can open the file in VLC Media Player and play it like a DVD, or you can even burn it to a DVD. So I burned it to a DVD, and the best experience is definitely to play it in your room. If you have like a portable DVD player, or if you have a TV that has a DVD player, play it in your room. Ideally in bed, lights off, 3 in the morning. Best experience for playing it, because I wanted to go more into the horror elements, and I've never really done that before this. So yeah, that's some background, and I will keep giving background because a lot went into this. Okay, I'm gonna probably advance because this is probably quite boring to look at. Alright, let's go. So, okay, so this whole live action stuff, I'm recording this probably date of upload, so yeah, end of July 2024. I recorded this footage I recorded it on Christmas Day 2022, so that was, yeah, ages ago. And I had inspiration just sort of struck. I was just like, I should totally do this DVD game of Happy to Help, because I can just animate everything in Blender, and yeah. Anyways, I need to go further back for that. Okay, I'm gonna click on this button because I'm gonna advance the game slowly. I just have a lot to talk about. Basically, we're gonna rewind to 2019, late 2019, early 2020, where I used to make Unity games. I used to make 3D games under Boxo Games, that was my name. And Happy to Help was my 3rd or 4th game, but I never actually finished the game. I put out a demo, But I got about 6 chambers into making this fully interactive version where basically instead of clicking the buttons like you see here, you just click the buttons and the battery goes, you can see here. It was like a first-person 3D game, and you can still play the demo. It's still up on Game Jolt. If you just search Boxer Games, you can find the original Happy to Help demo, which I would like to promote because I'm still happy with it. But that was like a 14 or 13-year-old me who made that. So it is outdated. But you'd stand on these pressure pads, and there were like little animations of the battery going to the different points. And I had a really good time making that for a while. The demo worked out pretty well, but I eventually obviously have stepped away from making games because I just found it too frustrating. The coding, oh my god, just the programming was just so annoying. Like the amount of errors and C#, I could just never really get my head around it. And I only knew a few things, and a lot of the games were kind of just revolved around this one line of code, like set active, which is just like turning it on and off. So a lot of the games were just revolved around turning things on and off, and there are like way easier ways to program things. Like one time I made this game which you can also play, it's called like Train Robbery or something, and there's this whole cutscene, and I did all of that with just turning certain cameras on and off, but I didn't know how to animate anything in the cutscene, or like, no, I knew how to animate things, but I didn't know how to trigger them at different times. So I would just like turn on and off different things. Anyways, I'm kind of getting off topic here. But long story short, I didn't finish the game because I got to about Chamber 6 and whole thing corrupted. I think it was the power went out or something while I was making it, and the whole file corrupted, and literally 8 months, a year of work completely gone, and I was devastated. Oh, yeah, so, and then I think it was kind of then that finally killed off the whole game dev thing for me, because I was just like, fuck this is awful. I'm going to just do a wrong one, because I don't know if many people get the wrong ones, because it's a pretty clear path. And that, in retrospect, that's kind of a thing I wish I'd improved on a bit more, because it's very simple. It's literally just like those kids magazines. It's like line up do you have to take A, B, or C line to get to the superpower? It's just kind of like that, and it's obviously I'm very inspired by Portal, the Portal games. You can see a lot of it, just the soundtrack, the robotic voices, the kind of testing initiative, blah blah blah. Very Portal, but Portal's game mechanic is just truly genius, and I couldn't really think of a puzzle mechanic when making the original, and the idea just kind of stuck, so I kept doing this. But it was more about this time around, I just wanted to tell the story. Like, I just really found the aesthetics of this whole futuristic chamber collection of chambers just really, really engaging, and I felt like I could do a lot more with it. And when making the original game, I always had an idea that it was always some far-flung, like really unrealistic idea that there was going to be this whole escape sequence. I had an idea that you would go through a vent and you'd go out to a corridor, and there'd be like the Happy to Help robots like exploding in your face or like chasing you down a corridor with intense music. So I really wanted to do that here, and I knew I could so much easier with Blender. So I made this all in Blender. I animated all of it. I can't really say much about it. Like, it's just kind of what you see. Like, I've been learning Blender since I've known about Blender since 2018, so I was maybe 11 or 12, and I've been just learning it on the janky family computer. And then in 2020 I got my own computer, which was great, which was fantastic. Big thanks to my parents for obviously getting me that. That was amazing, and that has allowed me to do literally everything, I guess, on my channel and all my films and all of that. Because if I was, oh my god, if I was still editing films on the family computer, man, no, or even a laptop, it maybe wouldn't have been as good. Especially Blender, because you need to, it needs to be like pretty good. It needs to be pretty decent. So it was rendered real time, like Eevee, which is kind of like a video game engine. It's very, very quick to render, and that was what was appealing to me, because I just long render times suck, and cycles, which is the one where it kind of takes time to work out the accurate lighting and everything, I never really got the hang of. I learned Eevee quite a lot while making a film that's not on YouTube. It was called Doom Runners, and it is actually my first short film, but I am not ever showing that to anyone, because that was cringe AF. And I know me saying AF is more cringe than... Anyways, blah blah blah. I learned Blender, used this. A lot of the assets are from the original games, so like the battery, all of the kind of battery tracks, the ladder, obviously the robot design, completely the same. Tiles were different, but the kind of general aesthetic of everything was a lot of it was lifted from the old game, because like it was all these ideas that I lost. Like Chamber 1 and 2 in this are like pretty much almost one-to-one recreations of what the original looked like, and that you can find on Game Jolt like old progress updates, because I would post constant updates about the progress. Chamber 3, I literally cannot remember what it looked like, but the old game was different to this. It was there were other things that I wanted to do, so a lot. And what was really devastating was I had this whole thing at the end. There was going to be this, or maybe it was in the middle, where you actually escape out to the futuristic city, and it was literally this whole kind of open city that I was making as this super ambitious either ending, or I think what I was planning to do was make an AI where a robot would chase you around the city and you'd have to hide in different places. But as you can tell from a lot of these ideas, it's very ambitious to do all this coding. It's easier to do this if you can animate in Blender and edit. If you can just animate and edit, you can make a lot more things happen. And I literally just would never know how to do any of that, and I was just kind of relying on like, oh, just look at some tutorials, I'll probably do it, but I never did. So annoying. But I'm glad the demo is still available, because I'm pretty proud of the demo.
Hey, good job.
And it is kind of an extra insight into it. The original game doesn't look as good as this as well. That's another thing about animating. You can make it look nicer, like with glow and the smoother movements, and obviously the whole movement of this character is supposed to be like you're playing a first-person game, and it's kind of a substitute, because it was like, ideally, if I did know how to code, I would just make the game, but I couldn't, so oh well. This bit here, this room, not too happy with, because it's just kind of a lore dump. I think it's a bit lazy, but in the DVD version, it's not in the YouTube version, but this is the whole thing where you can use the select buttons to just click between them, so it's a little bit more interactive. But in the YouTube one, it's even worse, because you just can't, you have to pause it, and it just kind of takes you out of it with all this like, just like, here's some background about the company, we couldn't organically work it in, I'm being too self-critical. I am proud of this. I am proud of what I did. I'll get more into making this now. So once I recorded all of the Humphrey stuff, again, don't know why I named it Humphrey, awful name, oh well. Once I recorded all of that, I just kind of started, I made it pretty much chronologically. A lot of progress was made from January to February, and then I kind of burnt out, and also I was 16, so I had to revise for GCSEs, and that was like a huge thing, so I couldn't GCSEs, by the way, if you don't know what they are, they're like your kind of quite major end of year exams that go on your report, and they affect you getting jobs and stuff like that. So I had to revise for that. That was really annoying. A lot of time just spent looking at chemistry cards and wanting to kill myself. Awful time that I'm very, very glad. God, so much has changed since then. Oh my god. But yeah, and it was around the 2nd year anniversary of the channel as well when I started to pick it back up again. Because I kind of burnt out, and at one point it was looking like I wasn't going to finish it. I stopped making it for a while around when you get in the vent and you start the escape, and by that point my mind was just blank for anything you could put here, for the rest of the escape. I knew I wanted the chambers, something to go wrong, and then you get the final boss fight, but I wanted there to be, adequate build-up. All of this text as well, I was just trying to think about, okay, it's the Genesis X5, how can we, flesh it out? So, and how would it work functionally in this kind of futuristic world? It helps you fulfill different activities. It can be used in factories. It can assist old people. It can teach children, that kind of thing. But I think, is this frozen? Okay. I think a regret is it's kind of underdeveloped. I feel like there was more that still could have been done. But thing is, I think it was either the final rungs of revision or literally during my exams, during actually doing them. When I wasn't doing my exams, I would be animating the final boss fight sequence, and each shot would take a long time. It's only like maybe 3 or 4 animations, but they each took a really long time because I had to like animate the head, and I kind of tried to animate it like a snake, and it was quite complicated. Part there. Here we go. Here is Survey Bot. I need to turn up the volume a bit because I can barely hear him. I forgot what he said. He said probably something, I don't know. This is my friend Chris, voicing this. Chris is in like pretty much every video I've ever made. I don't know. It's in last August. Sweatcraft, all of that. And I told Chris about this probably at school, and I was like, I wrote this character in because I was like, it'd be really cool to have a cameo. And I love cameos, and I don't want to say too much, but I have a really, really big project coming, and there are loads of cameos in that, so stay tuned. It will still be a while, but it's really cool. I don't want to say, it's not about that, it's about Happy to Help. Sorry. Right. Yes or no? I was really happy with this whole sequence. It was just more, and this was kind of foreshadowing the yes or no decision that you make with the boss battle, which I was really happy about. So I'm probably going to say no here because the responses are hilarious.
Great!
And then he's like, great!
Question 1! Do you
like,
have a
great.
positive opinion of
Oh
the
yeah, because like you don't get to choose. Because it's like, do you want to answer this survey? And you say no, and then they're like, okay, anyway, so question 1. So, this is question 1. Do you have a positive opinion? I'm going to answer no, because they're just the most entertaining ones.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Question 2. Would you recommend Rectank Corporation?
Yeah, so he
for
just submitted these lines with like in WhatsApp voice messages, and then I just got them into Audacity and made them roboty, and there you go. Suddenly, it's an animated character. It's that simple. With the music as well that's playing, and all of the music, again, some of that, well, a lot of it was lifted from the original, but every single track was kind of remastered. Basically, I made the original, like, different motifs. So pretty much almost every single track, except for like the boss fight and a few others, were originals. the original bass, the kind of repeating motifs were originally from the Unity game, the 2020 version. And they were made in this very cheap, not cheap, free, this free, very, very simple music making software called Bosca COL. And it's because I used to be a huge Brackeys fan, and he recommended that. Brackeys was so good. Brackeys was actually peak. So peak. If you were a game dev in that time. Oof. And Danny. Danny, the creator of Carlson. Also Carlson inspired this. Carlson is probably never coming out, but oh well. R.I.P. Danny. I hope you come back. Oh my god. But, oh shit. I accidentally done that. Thing is, what was I saying? I forgot. Oh shit, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the music. Yeah, Bosca COL. And coming around to doing this again, I was like, I really like the motifs, but I could do more. So I kind of exported them as MP3s and kind of sampled them, and added more layers with Soundtrap, which is another free like online music making thing that I've been using for years and years. Love it. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna move music softwares soon because it's kind of limited. I'm looking into learning Ableton, which is very intense, like a lot of buttons that I don't know what they do, but you know, we're trying on the onwards and upwards. But I kind of added more and more layers, like lots of percussion, more improv tracks, and suddenly you have like an 18 or 17 track or 18 minute album, and pretty happy with the score. Like, I think it's very consistent, which is good. What is yes?
Brilliant! If you refer someone, you'll get 10% more compensation on your next testing program with us!
10% more compensation! Woo!
Brain study selected on...
Oh, brain study. Ooh. Yeah. I'm gonna say no to that. So, basically the brain study is, I'll show you. I will bring it up later when we have the physical brain study. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Alright. I want to go through all of the kind of alternate options that you might not go through on your first playthrough because you just want to get it right. Especially actually it's all in all versions. I wanted to add a bit more of a penalty for dying. If you don't make it through, there is more risk if you go through the office part, and it's completely up to chance, which I hope made it scarier, because you don't know what you're gonna do. And if you get it wrong, you get resetted back to the very start of the whole escape sequence. So yeah, the physical brain study is coming up. Be prepared. But yeah, I'm really happy with the soundtrack. I think it is the most consistent public work that I've done that's out there, because I'm happy with the Last August soundtrack, but it's very inconsistent, which I don't like. Like there's booming electronic tracks, and then there's suddenly like an orchestral score, and it's like really weird, especially with the emotional tone I was going for. I don't know, it may have worked, it may not have. I don't think it did, but overall I'm very proud of Last August. Yeah, anyways, we are through to this room, and again,
you're almost there. Just
oh, here we go. You ready for the you ready for the Mandela catalog face? Look at this. There it is. I'll just add a distorted face. And now you may think I have a massive ego, and yes, I do. But it wasn't the only reason for having Humphrey in oh god, what a shit name. Anyways, it wasn't the only reason for having me in it. I wanted to have this human character because I wanted it to feel more significant when he gets killed off, because you kind of know him, so they feel like more of a threat, and it kind of helps you to be a bit more okay with this very clinical robotic world instead of immediately being alienated to it. So, anyways, this whole part, I am super happy with how this came out. I mean, I'm not happy that the horror score is not made by me, it's made by, I think, Film Riot. Shout out to Film Riot, peak film channel. But anyways, Film Riot, great channel. They made this music, this whole horror music here. But if you go this way, I'm really happy with how all of this came out. I just think once shit hits the fan, it really hits the fan, and I'm really happy with this. So this is the physical brain study. Be warned, it's very spooky. I tried my best. There's no legs, by the way. I couldn't be asked. Sorry. But he's lying down. But yeah, so this is the physical brain study. They take out your brain and they analyze it. They probably use it to make their AI better. And I was really happy with all this. This is fucking great. I'm fucking happy with this. I'm really happy with that. My family were kind of shocked at this. But I was like, you know what, who cares? Let me do what I want. You don't own me no more. You don't own me anymore. I've rebelled. Look at me. I've added blood in a video game. Look at that. No, but yeah, no, my family's been very supportive. Although my sister was like, why is this so disturbing? And I was like, okay, God. I guess that's a good thing, or maybe not, I don't know. Anyways, this whole escape, really happy with. Again, this chamber is very similar to an original version in the game. And this is where it really gets interesting. I think I was kind of, not rushing, but I was really wanting to get to this point where you actually have to make your own decisions and you have to get out. And it's really cool. I sound like Boris Johnson. Oh yes, you have to get out and... Anyways, if you go down here, pretty happy with this. I'm assuming you've played this already if you're watching this. Good! I'm really happy with that. I mean, okay, maybe I overdid it, but I really like this jump scare. I don't usually have jump scares in my stuff, and I really wanted to try with the horror stuff. And what I wanted to be different about this jump scare was it doesn't just kind of quickly go away. This part I wanted. I'll pause it here. What I really wanted. This is the kind of whole spirit of the DVD game thing. I wanted to make it like a creepy DVD game death, rather than just like a kind of typical horror game. I wanted it to be like you have to sit with it in silence in your room in the dark, and you just kind of have to stare at this robot's face as it sinks in. Especially later on when you realize, oh shit, now I have to go back and do it all again. But yeah, really, really happy with how this whole section plays out, and all of I think the jump scares get more creative. They're not always jump scares, but kind of just like death scenes. They get more creative, and I'm really happy with how this came out. Again, I don't know why this took me so long to do the commentary. I'm doing it now though, so yeah. So yeah, this was about the point where I stopped making it because I was like, I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to put here. I think there's an argument that could be made. It was kind of uncreative design because it's just copy pasted. So if you go left here, you die. But anyways, it's kind of uncreative design of this office because it's just kind of copy pasted like desktops, which were just kind of very low poly assets that I made that I could just copy and paste quite a lot without the computer crashing. because I originally had these much higher poly versions, but they just pretty much crashed immediately when I tried to duplicate too many of them. But I wanted it to be like very clinical, and I wanted to make it quite creepy that there's no one there. Obviously easier for me because I don't have to add humans in a 3D space, which is this whole thing, and very, very difficult. And you can see like it's there, like you can see I've tried to work around not actually having humans in the 3D space. But the idea is, and again, I don't know if this was like clear enough, but in the story, the main guy, Whitehall, kind of lures everyone into a conference room and then sets it on fire. But that was very, very like quickly done in the boss battle. He just kind of like shows fire on the screen, and that could really mean anything. And what it was they get lured into a conference room, the door's locked, and everyone is burnt alive. Everyone is dead, much like Portal. So I wanted that to add to the horror, I guess. But horror I'm not really used to doing. Like, I don't do a lot of this. By the way, I think it zooms in here because you see the robots too early. I think when you turn around the corner, the robots are there, so that's why it zooms in. Oh no, that sound sample, the scream, that's from, this is so random, it's from the Men trailer. It's from the trailer for the A24 movie Men, which is an awful, awful horror movie. It has good parts, but it's kind of an in-joke among me, James, and Chris. Our video B Source, that was filmed in 2021, and they came round and slept overnight, Halloween sleepover. Really fun, except we watched Men, which was just an awful, awful film. Oh shit, I'm resetted, damn it, okay. Well, we're going all the way back. But I also like the DVD game more, because you can't skip ahead. You can't just like go into your history and then go back. You have to manually go all the way back through, so it is a proper penalty for dying. But yeah, that scream sound is from the Men trailer, because I really liked it. I was like, that's so creepy, I want that. And all of the weird sounds. There's a really weird sound like right at the end, just before it goes back to like, you know, resetting. And it's like it sounds like a cow or something, and it was like, it genuinely scared the shit out of me when I was editing. I was like putting the different bits of audio together, and then I maybe accidentally put my volume up or something, and it just played, and I was like, I was home alone as well, and I looked around, and I was like, oh my god, and that's when I knew to put it in. And that was. I downloaded a bunch of random sound effects from freesound.org, which is a really, really great website if you're any sort of video creator. Really, really good. So this is another death one here. Again, this office was kind of just very quickly designed. Oh, it's the screen sound again. I was quite happy with this kind of gridded death view, and I tried to make it kind of look trashy and low quality, and kind of unpredictable. And like this sound here, like all of these, where you're just left alone with these kind of, it's just it creeped me out a lot. So yeah, that's what all that was. And this sound here, yeah, that kind of, that scared the shit out of me. And it still does a bit. I don't know why. Oh, I can kind of just skip ahead like this. That's easier. Okay. I don't know what else to talk about. Okay. Right. This, yeah, again, this is the horror score. I really liked just the idea of, like, avoiding all these CCTV cameras. So I just thought it was tense. And, like, all of this, I was really happy with. I think the animation of the character is a bit robotic, which is like that whole bit there, that was cool. But the robotic movement is not ideal. I think I could have had some more expression, but I was still kind of learning how to do keyframe animation, and I still am. Like, I'm not the master of it now, but I really like all this. They just appear out the door, and this one. I was gutted when I saw on YouTube that these death animations didn't have many views, because obviously people don't want to mess up, but like, people miss out on that. Like, that's cool, come on. I mean, obviously you don't want to die, but like, It's just kind of these weird things when you're making game, like you have to put them in, but not many people are going to look at them. Like especially like VR games, if there's like people are going to look under everything because they can just physically get on their hands and knees, which is why fucking Half-Life Alyx is just amazing. It's just, I could go on for days about Half-Life Alyx, but it's just truly incredible game. Anyways, I don't know what else to talk about. The original game had this whole, open world thing. There was one that I think Chamber 5 had this gravity boots mechanic, where you get given these boots and you can just jump really high, and it's kind of like Portal where you don't have full damage, and I was really happy with that. The overall vibe of the original game is a bit different. It's, I don't know, it's probably less scary. I tried to really go all in on the horror, but I don't know if I succeeded, because horror isn't really like my forte. Like I've never really made a horror movie. I've made one short horror movie with some friends, but that's it. And that was like a comedy horror anyways, so doesn't really count. No, it does, but still, horror really isn't like where I specialize. I just think it's cool. I just think it's really cool. And I like Happy to Help. I like this whole thing. I feel like I could have said a bit more with it. Like, what I want to do from now on, I want to say something with each thing I make. No matter how silly it is, I want it to mean something. I want it to have a meaning and provide a commentary on something that's going on, because otherwise it just feels like, what am I trying to say? I'm not... I mean, it's kind of a very kind of... Wait, I can't remember. If I fall down here, do I get resetted all the way back? I don't know. Because if you go down here, this is just down to the main character being an idiot. They just slip off. they just slip off into the elevator shaft, which is stupid of them. Like, look at that. This whole elevator shaft as well took a while to design, because this track playing as well, this was from the original, and that was pretty much lifted straight from the game. I don't think I made any changes to this. Just kind of moody ambient track that I really liked, and it really was the music that got me back into this world. That was what originally inspired. I think I remastered like one track, and I was like, I could really bring this back if I did it in Blender, because the music, I don't know, music just means a lot to me, and the vibes alone can dictate almost every creative decision. It's insane, and you can get a lot of vibes from the music. If you just go up here, by the way, and when my family was kind of, I guess, play testing this, but not really, just, you know, playing it when it was finished, they were like really tense in this part, even though the music was like joyful, because they thought they were still gonna die if they made the wrong decision, which is fair enough, because the game just trains you up to be like, if you click this wrong arrow, you're gonna die. But yeah, you need a key card. I think this was all new. I don't, except, so when you actually get in the security room, that whole sequence was very, very similar to the end of the demo, which I, again, highly recommend you play. And the demo took an interesting, a slightly different spin, where I made it literally in the story. In the story world, in the demo, I made it organically work. So it wasn't just a level from the game. It was like 3 completely new chambers. But the idea is they haven't built the facility yet, so you're in this like little temporary building, and they put you into a VR room, and then everything you play is just as a VR headset. So it's kind of a meta, sort of like you're in the game, and it ends by them terminating the demo, and there's two endings. There's one where you kind of rebel and you go down this hole where you find the security cameras, and you find in the original I put it was like I'm pretty happy with how it came out. It was these robots standing around a body bag with blood, and I was like, that's really freaky. So I really liked that reveal, and then the game gets terminated and you presumably get killed at the end. Or you just terminate it and you don't find anything, nothing is suspicious. But you have a very clear choice, and it's really cool. I was really happy with how the demo came out. But all this kind of factory stuff was new, but I just kind of thought I should have a bit more into like how they were manufactured, and I wanted a bit of space for you to breathe, because I knew I wanted the next horror sequence to be when you find the camera. And I wanted the player to just like breathe a little bit before it goes back in. And especially because you can dictate the pace yourself. You can just choose how fast or slow you want it to be. So yeah, this whole part I'm pretty happy with, but the kind of graphic that I made, I don't know. We'll see. Look at this. Oh, he's dead! Oh my god! It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know how I feel about it. I like it, I don't like it. Yeah, anyways. There's these robots chasing you. And I was really happy with this. So this original booming score was used in the game. But, oh, that's a song I've been listening to. Good song! I recommend that song, listen to it. Anyways. This alarm, I wanted the alarm to be part of the score. I might just, like, pause a little bit, because... but yeah, this blaring alarm I really wanted to be part of the score and match the tempo to make it even more intense and kind of discordant with the rest of the key. And yeah, I was really happy with that. I finally got to do this sequence that I've been dreaming of like running down this corridor. And like, also, if you kind of freeze this, it looks quite realistic. Like, if you freeze that, like, it could be a real place. And I really like that. I was really happy that that came out. And, like, this corridor as well. If you just kind of pause it there, it's like, oh, shit. This looks good. DVD game, it kind of, because it's a DVD game and it's lower quality than the YouTube version, you can kind of be a bit more forgiving of the graphical glitches here and there. But, yeah, this whole thing, I really just like how it came out, because I wanted this whole slow, and then once you finally get out here and there's this little musical tone, I'll rewind it again, there's this musical tone and it's this kind of slow, harrowing build up, and you finally, and by the time you get to the 6th floor, you're completely like, it's been a kind of traumatizing experience for the main character, and I wanted to show that with this music. It's like when you get out, and there's another moment of calm for you to just kind of think about what has happened, and that's why there's a pause here, so you can choose to keep going, because again, in the DVD game, not in the YouTube version, but in the DVD game, you can just have a second to just breathe in this ambience, in this kind of rooftop floor. So let's go. Yeah. I tried to also make the geography work for the first few floors. I don't think it really works here. Oh well. But I tried to make the placement of the elevators in the first few chambers work geographically. By having them in the same blend file, which got very, very glitchy. Alright, this is Jay Whitehall. Here he is, the beautiful guy. Obviously you can see very much like GLaDOS in Portal. I was also very inspired by Palmer from, I'm going to pause this maybe, Palmer from Minecraft Story Mode. Okay, I don't care, alright, I love Minecraft Story Mode, you can't take that away from me. If Minecraft Story Mode has no fans, I'm dead. So, yeah. Anyways, that aside, I was really happy with how this whole room was made. I mean, I made it look like an egg, But it's the model looks like an egg, but I obviously very, very inspired by GLaDOS and all of that, and everyone kind of picked up on that, which is really nice to see. And the robot is voiced by Chase Hartman, who was a voice actor on Fiverr that I got, and that was really exciting for me because I was like, ooh, I'm getting someone on Fiverr for my voice acting, and I'd only done that once before with another game I made as under Boxer Games under the name called Astray, which I could also talk about for hours. I could talk about anything for hours, actually. Ask me about bees, and I will talk to you about bees for all of time if you don't get me to shut up. That's how I am. So yeah, I was really, really happy with all this. I made all of the screen faces with like pixel art, and Chase did a really, really good job. Yeah, just really nice guy. Really recommend getting him for your voice acting gig. Admittedly, I was just looking for like a relatively cheap one because I just didn't have much money. And I think I paid him £15 or something. But he was really great, really, really great on Fiverr, and I kind of sent him a lot of concept art, and I was like, this is the guy, and he was like, is it like a casual CEO or more like over the top villain? And I was like, over the top villain. He's insane. Yeah, really, really, really great guy. Really recommend him. Yeah, kind of. I mean, maybe it's a bit over the top, but yeah. And then this is the whole thing of like, I gathered them in one place, and I hope that was clear enough. But you know, who knows? And this animation took a while. It was all done with nodes. Oh, just kind of skipped ahead. Okay. Oh yeah, because the DVD menu, it's the DVD menu is animated, but he is. I'm kind of getting distracted. I'm kind of going off in different tangents, but oh well. He's got different nodes that I animated him with. I think there was one on the head, at the head for the wire, and then another one at the top, and then maybe another one in the middle, that would kind of animate the 3 points of the cable, and then the head was its own separate entity, and you can kind of see that how he's animated. Anyways, we're gonna say yes, because that's a death screen.
A wise choice.
A wise choice. I was kind of with this like musical swell.
A wise choice.
And then this death screen has him like evilly laughing over the typical death screen. I really like that. Because at that point you're kind of stupid to just say yes. By the way, this scream is the femur breaker scream that you probably have seen all over the internet. It's like an SCP thing. It's just this guy screaming super realistically. I hope it's not a real person. Oh god. I don't think it is. I think it's just a voice acting thing made for an SCP game. But it was just really creeped me out, so I put it in. Alright, no. No! And yeah, again, this whole thing I animated while doing exams. Like, I would literally animate some in the morning, or maybe I'd finish it, and then I'd go off and be literally doing my physics exam or something while it was rendering. This whole boss music was originally all originally made for this. I was very happy with this kind of boss music, and it had these three. Also, this guy is really stupid. In hindsight, I don't know why I made him so stupid, because he's like, he literally leads you to the first wing, and it's almost like he's pointing at it, like go on, shut me down. So this shuts off his logic and reasoning. I do like this music though. I'm very happy with it. Very happy with that. I'm gonna mute this again. And this thing here is just the wireframe of the model and you can see it just looks like a giant egg. But yeah, okay, we're gonna deactivate this mofo. Let's go. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm really happy with this. And the lights took a bit of doing. But I had the song in the blend file. I'm probably going to pause this. I had the song in the blend file. So I could sync up the blinking of the lights with the music and everything. And I think I also, when I was composing the boss music, I put Chase Hartman's voice lines into the music project so I could kind of paste the boss battle in the music first and then animate it on top of it, which was a good way to go about things because it seems pretty slick, like quite well done. I'm quite happy with that. I don't know, he did a great job. This kind of power hungry CEO who's just kind of lost it. It's very similar to GLaDOS's backstory in Portal, if you know of it. It's basically just the CEO, what's his name, Jay Whitehall. He finds that he can function a lot better if he kills his human body and puts himself into the computer and runs the whole facility. But again, he's an idiot because he just lets you do all this without sending the robots, except the end. But I was really happy with all this. Like, the way he kind of approaches you, I want it to be like a rattlesnake or something. Kind of very shifty, unpredictable movements. And that part there where he sort of slicks his head towards you. I during animation I made him more and more unpredictable and like erratic as parts of him get shut down, and I tried to write the speech to be like that. So like because his logic and reasoning is gone, then obviously he's gonna be like more power hungry and even more like delusional, and then the facility control gets shut down, and then he panics because he can no longer control like what the test chambers can do, the lava flow, the batteries, like a lot of things. The robots he can still control, but a lot more limited, and it's just slipping more and more and more out of his control. And I really wanted to show that in the animation where he gets more like fidgety, and there were these small parts where I kind of hand animated with the mouse. Yeah, anyways, like puppeteered. And I did all the audio editing in Audacity. Oh. Yeah, sometimes the DVD version does kind of skip ahead. I'll admit that. It's not perfect. The YouTube version and PowerPoint versions are also really good. But let's deactivate him again. Again, this whole thing, it took forever. Like, I don't know, oh my god. I was happy with that. Okay, we're gonna pause again. This whole thing, it took much longer than it, may have seemed. It took maybe 4 or 5 months of work, but obviously on top of that, it was year and a half of just thinking about the world and making the original game. Starting from January and finishing it, putting it out 17th of August. So I remember that because I finished my GCSEs on the Friday, 16th of August. So I made Happy to Help come out literally the first day of my extended summer, and that was really, really cool. And then, because I was like, if I just put this out first day of summer, that's Happy to Help done, and then I can spend the whole of summer doing Last August. So I did. First filming day of Last August was, I think maybe even like a week before exams ended. I think it was maybe the weekend before, and then literally last filming day was the day before results day. So that was like, yeah, very start to very end of summer. Right, so this whole thing, I was really happy with this. It goes red, and then the music suddenly gets more intense, and it loops like it's a broken record. like that there. And I was inspired by like, the best song ever, Let It Happen by Tame Impala. Very, very good song. It's my favourite song ever. Tame Impala is my favourite music artist ever. Amazing. Listen to Tame Impala right now. And yeah, a lot of my music is inspired by that. Yeah, so also animated this screen here and made it more like intense. Now the robots are chasing you. Memory and consciousness. Robots just stand here. I don't know. You know what? We're gonna say that it's a law reason, and he has less control. There we go. I love justifying bullshit things with law. There we go. And he just kind of waits, and he's like, "Oh, you're out here." No. And yeah. Did I put a flashing images warning? I should have. I think I did, because it's very. I don't know why he says "remember my name." It's kind of Disney villain-ish, but oh well. Yeah, this is death. It's very, a lot of flashing images. I might also put this in the commentary. Flashing images, because there are a lot of like, oh my god. But I wanted this cool moment where the robots are just about to get you, and then they turn off as well. And they've been kind of the looming, haunting presence this whole, oh shit. I think this binary says something like stop or goodbye or like shutting down or something like that. The binary says something. I've forgotten. But yeah, the robots have been this very oppressive, spooky force throughout the whole game. I hope it was satisfying to see them finally shut down in front of your face. Anyways, he's dead. Woo! And Jay Whitehorse finally died inside the machine. After killing all those people, yay. This was very rushed, sadly. I was just in such a hurry to get this done, and I wanted a bit extra in the credits where you're standing outside, and I was maybe even going to do a model for that, but I just didn't. It was like, you know, maybe last week of exams or something, and I was just like, I just want to get this done. I want to do last August, because that's all I was thinking about at that point. I was like, I just need to get this finished. So, yeah. And this is just one shot of... this is kind of a homage to what the original open city that I talked about earlier was going to look like. It looked pretty similar to this, but it had a lot of kind of cyberpunk... Not cyberpunk. Yeah, sort of but like kind of steampunk kind of buildings, like kind of shanty town, like kind of put together out of spare trash. These like futuristic trash houses that I made, and they were so cool, and it was all lost. Damn it. But yeah, this is just a small thing to show what the building looked like, and it's not underground like Portal, it's out of the ground, even though the proportions again are totally off, because this is a skyscraper. How could those giant facilities fit in there? You know, you decide. Or maybe the idea was some of it was underground. Oh, I don't know, who cares. It's gone now anyways. It's exploded, and with that the main character presumably dies as well. But they took it down, so bittersweet ending. But yeah, that is finally the end after a ton of rambling. I don't know, I had a lot to talk about with this, because this was a big process, like a lot of things coming together, a lot of music, sound design, animation, texturing, editing, just everything, and the whole making the DVD, PowerPoint, and YouTube versions was its own separate process entirely. Like each 3 things required, you know, almost a whole different set of tools, and especially the PowerPoint one, that was hard. But it's kind of the PowerPoint version is kind of for like if you can play it on the PC. It's like the definitive PC version. The YouTube one is the definitive portable one, and the DVD one is like how it's meant to be played, basically, in a DVD player. But yeah, this soundtrack as well. These credits. It was intentional. I wanted because the humans win at the end. Because humanity and nature wins over the artificial, which I guess maybe the only thing I was saying with this. That the artificial loses and humanity wins. In the credits, I wanted more natural instruments, even though it is still like electric guitars, but it's still like recognizably humans. Unlike like the rest of the soundtrack, which is all very robotic, metallic almost, robotic, clinical sounds. Special thanks. Oh my god. All these people in the special thanks. Okay, some of them, it gets a bit silly, because I put, like, Kane Parsons and, like, Ian Hubert, and, like, Brackeys and Danny in the special thanks, like I knew, almost to imply that I knew them personally. No. But, this guy, Mate Probelski, Michael, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Michael Bly, Nathan T. So all these guys, I'll quickly run you through it. Mate, again, I hope I'm saying that right. One of the first supporters of my Unity games, and my Unity games really didn't get that much recognition at all. Like, I think the most interactions I got was maybe 10 likes on the Happy to Help page. I think that was the most fame that I experienced on there. And this guy would constantly review the games that I made, and he's made these really incredible games. This kind of fragmentation series. He's made Into the Fragmentation, Through the Fragmentation, and like Fragmentation City or something. And they are really cool games with like bird people, but it's this kind of really existential horror undertones, and it's just great. Play them. They're all free or very cheap, so yeah, play them, seriously. Through the Fragmentation is seriously fantastic. Michael Bly was one of the very first people, second ever person, and there were only 2 or 3. Yeah, there were 3 people that actually Let's Played my games, which was amazing at the time. On YouTube, they actually recorded themselves playing it and put it on YouTube, which was awesome. The first one was this person called Alpha the Potato Queen, I think. Very strange name, but that was the first, and she played Astray. Michael Bly played Astray as well. And just very, like, both people were just very nice about it, especially considering what it was, which was not good. Not a very well-made game, but they were very nice about it. Token Eye Games, all of these people, Persky, What Suffolks, all these people were just supportive, or even kind of friends on Game Jolt that I had for a little while. And we kind of support each other with our game dev stuff, and that was cool for a time. So I put them in the special things, and the other ones are just kind of like inspirations and things like that. So yeah, finally done. It's just the DVD menu. I don't know. That's the credits again. That's it. That's everything. Yeah. Yeah. That was a lot to do, but I'm really happy with how it came out. I know this has been very disorganized, and I just wanted to get my thoughts out on it, and it's kind of just like a time capsule for me to think about what went into it, and really proud of it. I'm probably never going to do anything like this again. Well, I don't want to never say never, but I don't know, I'm into some different things, and I'm much more into the whole film side of things, as much as I love this whole concept. But I still do love DVD games. Still want to explore something with that. And again, never say never. I got a life to live, and who knows what could happen. So yeah, thanks a lot for sitting through this long recording with me. Let's see how long it was. An hour? Yeah, wow. It's like 20 minutes roughly to play it. But yeah, it's taken an hour, but so I've had a lot to talk about. So thanks a lot, and see you next time. Check out my films. Check out my recent one, Untether. It's a short film. It's a good one. Watch it. And I have a really big thing coming out at some point. I really can't say when, but it's looking incredible. So yeah, see ya.